is at my office, at our studio, Local Experts Group studio, and I've agreed to let Anya interview me. She's never done interviews yet. Never done a Facebook Live on her own yet. And she's always wanted to have her own channel.
Yeah.
And the passion is there.
The passion is there.
Yeah, the looks is there. The education,
the technical part is not
just the technical part is not there. And here she is. She said, "Raymond, I'm gonna come, and can I interview you as the first person because you have lots of views. You're doing this like it's second nature. So I want you to see this." She's made the effort to come here and ask questions and do all she needs to do. Like, we literally just put her phone up on this stand here, and we're figuring everything out. And she asked the first question. She's like, "What happens if somebody calls?" And I'm like, "Brilliant! You have to put your phone in airplane mode, and so somebody calls you, it won't interrupt your whole life. Like right now, it will interrupt. I didn't do that for myself.
Just to get an idea how basic.
Yes. Yeah. So that's amazing. And she has an amazing phone. In this day and time, you don't need $20,000 camera. Your phone will just be fine. So now don't want to take over her interview. This is like the back. This is behind the scenes. So I just wanted you guys to know, if you want to do interviews, you want to start doing Facebook Live, you want to get on YouTube, you want lots of views. Actually, I just hit 2.2 million views on YouTube. Pretty cool. So I'm just gonna shut up now because I'm actually the guest of this show, and she is the host, and then Dawn, my personal assistant here, she's gonna hold this, and I'm gonna shut up, and she's the boss now, and yeah, you can keep watching and see how this goes. It's fun. Are you excited?
It is. I'm very excited, and I just wanna thank you because. We were just having a chat, and I've had this idea in the back of my mind like for at least a year, and I was so caught up in trying to make it perfect, trying to figure everything out.
Right.
And I ran into you last week at the Dynamo Speaker Search, which you did such an amazing job.
Right.
And I just had that talk with you, and I just want to thank you for encouraging me to just do it.
Right.
And I want to thank you for offering your time to meet up with me and do it, because at the end of the day I know it's not perfect. This is the first time. I know my questions are probably not going to be perfect.
No, it's great.
But
everybody's going to want to know the same thing.
But I'm just doing it, and I also want to set the intention for this conversation.
Right.
And my intention is and the reason why I wanted to do it for so long is I happened to meet people in different conferences, and people who manage to design the life that they love living, and that inspires me so much. And you're one of those people. Like, you definitely, like, I met you last year?
Yeah.
And you come from a place. Like, how long did it take you? Like, because you worked in the warehouse, right? You had a trucking company,
right?
But like, you were like so far away from what you're doing today. So, what do you think was what contributed the most to that shift in your life, like in the direction that your life was going?
Yes, I know what I want. My goal is so big that I need to get there, and I'm driven by pure passion to get there and do that. Although it's a 10-year goal, stuff can happen faster. And personally, I was addicted to a lot of things growing up as a young man, and now I said, you know what, none of this is serving me. How about I focus all of this addiction, put it over here, and focus all the addiction in, and say, why don't you get addicted to success now, Raymond? How about you do that for us, for the guy in the mirror? And then it happened. I start focusing all my energy on one thing, which will in turn be benefit to me, and I got very aggressive at it. I started writing books, being at the right place at the right time, being able to not be scared to make an investment in me, because it's been said it's the best investment you can do. Warren Buffett says, and many great leaders said, the best investment you can make is the investment in yourself. And so I go to events and I see older people, retirees mostly, will go up and sign up to write a book. And what really hit me, I'm like, if they lived their whole life and now they're paying a lot or investing in themselves, then I just, that answers my question. All I have to do is follow their lead, and meanwhile I have 40 years advance on them, or 30 years. So I didn't really need to think about it. I said, okay, if these guys, older people, are more mature, they're sensible, they live their whole life, and so if it's good enough for them, it's definitely good enough for me. I just take advice and follow people.
So it's really just like finding those mentors.
It's all about mentors.
So can you share, like, was there like a one person who had a particularly deep impact on your life, or was it like just a combination of?
Yes. So a guy named Jim Rohn. He's dead about almost 10 years now. December will be his 10th death anniversary since he's gone. Zig Ziglar is also another great person that I follow and listen to, and they're not here anymore. And then I went and then I started studying Dr. Brian Tracy, Les Brown, Bob Proctor, because they're here. And then I figure out where they're gonna be, go to their event, and I had so much success at it. I end up interviewing them, going to some of their houses.
Co-authored a book.
Co-authoring a book with D. Brian Tracy. Yeah. His son is gonna be my keynote speaker at my next event. So it's going very well.
That's amazing.
You never know what can happen. So this is a huge moment. I'm excited to see what will happen to you and your podcast and your YouTube channel and your live interviews.
That's true. And another thing, like, I think a lot of people sort of know about it, right? Like, there's a lot of things that we sort of intellectually know, but sometimes it's like, what do you think that was the? Did you feel like it would never happen in your life? Did you feel like, oh, it's just like, you're gonna fail, like nothing is gonna, like, what's your, like, that vision that you had, like, it's never gonna come true? How do you experience that?
Well, I mean, most coaches that I follow, they say, if you want to make $1 million, say you're gonna make 10 million, and at the end of the year, something might happen. When you look back, you had made 5 million. That's way more than the one you wanted to start, and then you just keep. Don't be unrealistic. Be realistic, but put a 0 behind it, right? and that way you just 10 times your, like Grant Cardone, 10x.
10x.
And
yes.
if you're gonna dream, and I put a post about this sometime. If you're gonna dream about something, how much does it cost to dream? To daydream? 0. If you dream about a car, and one person dream about a yacht, and one person dream about a helicopter, it's the same power in the brain.
That's very
and
true.
The person who dreams about the car gets the car. The person who dreams about the heli, just dream about all of it.
But you know, like, for me, like, the hardest part, I think, like, sometimes, like, I would have that dream, and I do, but then, like, I would think, like, it just, like, it doesn't happen. When it doesn't happen, you just, like, you feel like, oh, like, there's no point of dreaming it.
No,
like, you just,
because what it's all about time. We don't have control of time. You can accelerate stuff, and that's the next book I'm publishing. It's called The Handbook to Entrepreneurship. And on the front cover, it has a triangle that says SDT, which is a mathematical formula, physics formula for speed. Speed equal distance you travel over time. You do it every day, all day. The globe's spinning right now. We're all in motion, but traveling a car, if you drive faster, you get there faster. I mean, same distance, but less time. So I associate success with this. If you want something, how much resources, how much time, how much of your personal time, how much money are you going to put into achieving that? How much mentors are you going to invest in? You could achieve it maybe in 20 years, 30 years, or if you're focused. I believe anyone can achieve anything in 10 years if you keep thinking.
Cheers to that.
If you keep just every day, you're consciously aware of this. If you pray, you meditate, you have a vision board and you see it, it happens. Because our brains are lazy. Actually, our brain is the boss of itself. And it loves to be lazy. It loves to take us on autopilot. And that's where the problem happens. When we're autopilot, we we let our brain govern ourselves, and we're not in that moment. We're not living purposely in the moment. We're just living automatically.
Yes.
We're in autopilot, and that's where a lot of our time go.
That's very true. Very true. Yeah, and that's I think what I noticed about you. I just like I said, like, I met you last year, and like meeting you today.
Yes, you came to
like,
me. You're like, you have changed so much from last year.
Yeah, like you've changed. Like there's so much more depth to you. Like so. Yeah, and that's why like, I'm so excited to have this talk with you, because it's been a journey, and it's amazing how much you've done in just a year. Like you're just like in such a different place.
I look forward to our next year interview.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, we'll do one more.
We're not done yet, but that's really cool.
Okay, I have like maybe one last question. So you spoke about how important it is to have a mentor, and I absolutely agree. I think I spent a lot of time thinking that I needed a partner. In what I do, like in the business that I do, but then I realized like I actually need a good mentor, and because like that's what makes you make those almost like quantum leaps,
right,
like in your life. If you could choose absolutely any mentor, like live or not, in the whole world, do you have like a person, like a dream person, like you would want to be mentored by?
Yeah, I love Grant Cardone. I really do love his style. He's so down to earth, and he talks to everyone, and he's just a go-getter. He's a 10x guy.
He is.
Yeah, he puts a zero behind everything. Like, okay, I did that, and I'm gonna do that.
Cool.
I had the honor of meeting him, interviewing him, not on camera, but ask him personal question. My wife and I were in Texas for that, so that was a phenomenal experience. And yeah, Grant Cardone is it.
Wow.
He's now on a world tour. He's coming to Toronto in early next year too.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Well, you said something about I wanted to answer. You said you may need a partner or a mentor. Like there's room for both, depending on what the business is,
true.
And each one has specific criteria to choose. Your mentor should be the person you want to be. You see yourself in them, and however, choosing a mentor, Grant Cardone is probably $100,000, or Tony Robbins is $1 million for a mentor. Now, who's the next down level? Who's in between you and them that you can, one, reach, have access to, and two, afford? So, because if you're now starting and you have $1 million, you pay Grant Cardone $1 million to be a mentor, you may not be able to soak up everything he's telling you because the foundation is not there. So speed is good. The great mentor is great, but as Bob Proctor teaches, there's a thing called paradigms and frequency and levels. You have it's a step by step, and so you can't bite off more than you can chew. So not because you pay $100,000 for a mentor mean you're gonna get $100,000 in value. You'll probably only get $5,000 in value because that's the mentors that do this one thing and you can't even get over that yet. Meanwhile, you're paying mentorship for a year and well, I'm sorry if you couldn't jump over the first step. Like you paid to climb the stairs and you didn't. It's not my fault. So no. Yes, go after the big fishes, the legends, but not everybody. Don't need all the legends at this time. Start by watching YouTube videos. It's huge because you can see them. You can almost feel the energy. Reading books are good, but it's good for really mindset. But the interview is great, and then most of the legends now go live on Facebook, and it's huge.
Like you
have access to them really live, and you can ask questions about something, and they will answer you. And then the next thing you want to do is meet them live in person, one time, sometime, anytime, and it doesn't cost a lot. Like a lot of promoters, I'm a promoter. I bring celebrities, and my mentors bring in celebrities. You buy a ticket to that event, and then you go meet them. Ask them a question, have lunch with them or something, take a picture, and now all of the study. That happened to me and Brian Tracy. Being a truck driver, driving all across North America, I drove over 1 million kilometers. It's a lot. Most people don't even drive that in a lifetime, but driving 12, 13 hours a day, every day, adds up. And so I would listen, instead of listening to the radio, I would listen to the audio tape. Automobile University is what Brian Tracy calls this. So I'm already driving. My eyes need to be on the road, but my ears are free, and I can listen to Brian. I can pause. I can re-listen to it. And so when I met him for the first time, I said, "It was so great meeting you, Brian, because I've driven many miles with you next to me in the passenger seat. I made a joke in stage. The first day I met Brian Tracy, I was invited to co-author with him. I said yes. I shared stage with him. Yeah. I was phenomenal, and then I got an interview with him while having lunch. It was like a dream come true. But I knew the guy. Like he was in my head. He had a stored folder in my head. And so you should do the same. You don't really I didn't need to hire him right away. I'm in the actual process of going to his house and doing an interview with him right now.
Yeah?
Yeah, so it's very amazing. Very, very amazing.
That's inspiring. That really is. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm really grateful for you being part of my journey and sort of like setting wheels in motion and helping me go through it, because I think a lot of things you just have to do it.
Just do it. My speech the other night, the 3 minutes I spoke, inspired you. Tell me about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I spoke about decision making.
About decision making. Yeah. Like it's about making that decision and just do it. Just stick with it, because
regardless of what show up.
Regardless, show up. Yeah. And it's like you've heard it like a million times, but it's just like something like I just felt it, right? Like just the way you spoke about it. Like I just felt it, and here I am.
Yeah, because Warren Buffett says, try new things. If you fail, you learn something new. If you win, great.
That's it.
Step up again.
That's it.
And Jim Rohn says something that's really powerful. I don't know. I have 3 minutes, so I didn't get to put in a whole bunch of quotes that I was looking at. If you go past 3 minutes, you disqualify. So Jim Rohn, I wanted to share this the other night. Jim Rohn says, it's not about the direction of the wind, but the set of your sail. So that's just phenomenal. It means, in our terms, it's like the traffic might be going this way, but you're sitting at a high building. You can see what's going on. It's just about navigating what's happening. We have no control of the wind, the weather, any external things. The one and only thing you have the decision of is the decision making, your decision making, the fact that you make a decision, and that's everything. That's the only thing that we have control in our life, and that is what matters. I'm here today, you're here today, you guys are here today because of all the combined decisions you've made. All the people you've met in your life led you to this moment, this time, right here, right now. If you look back and you don't like it, guess what? You can't change it. You can't change the past, but you can change the future. And just set an intention 10 years from now. I want to be there, and every day you consider it and think about it and pray about it, you'll get there.
Awesome.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. All right, we're done.